Lossless mixing, additive savings, significant productivity increase. Now, let's take a look.
The MazeCon is a groundbreaking invention discovered by Mariyasu for the first time in the world. It's a mixing device based on the idea that there is no need to mix during the mixing process. Let's talk about how this device came to be. Mr. Ishikawa, do you know the biggest feature of the MazeCon?
There are various features, but what's the most important one?
You can create the mixed material right before the extruder. Essentially, there is no need for the unnecessary task of pre-making the material.
I see.
Since you can produce the necessary amount on the spot, you can switch or stop the production when you want to make different films or other shaped items, or when you want to end it. This is the biggest feature of MazeCon. So, what is the problem with the conventional method? As you know, the issue is that mixed material gets left over. Where does it remain?
Yes. First, raw materials remain in the separate mixing tank. They also remain in the hopper above the extruder.
How much remains?
Usually, about 10 kilograms remains in a 100 kilograms tank, and about 5 kilograms in the hopper.
So, every time you switch, raw materials remain in the hopper? If you switch 5 times a day and assume that 5 kilograms remains each time, that's 25 kilograms left over. How much does that wasted material cost?
It's an amount I don't even want to calculate.
And this happens every day, right? Over a year, that could be nearly 1 million yen per machine. But this can be eliminated, right?
With MazeCon, it can be eliminated.
Exactly. As I mentioned earlier, there is no leftover mixed material. MazeCon has no hoses or tanks for storing mixed material, nor a hopper. The more you hear, the more profitable it sounds, right?
Yes, indeed.
Let's talk about the next benefit. There is a lot of work for the operators, like removing the wound-up product and preparing the next raw material. With all these tasks, I'd like Mr. Ishikawa to talk about the problems that arise.
As you mentioned, operators are very busy, and sometimes they forget to turn off the mixing switch, leaving a lot of raw material in the tank and hopper.
How much is left over?
About 100 kilograms in the tank and up to 50 kilograms in the hopper when full. That means 150 kilograms of mixed material is produced unnecessarily.
150 kilograms. What do you do with it? It would be good if it can be used. There seems to be another problem as well, right?
There's also the issue of forgetting to make the mixed material.
Forgetting to make it? What do you mean?
When replenishment of raw materials is needed, and if the operator forgets to make it in advance, it can result in delays because it takes time to make the mixed material.
This mistake can lead to film breakage, which is troublesome to clean the machine. But with MazeCon, the production time is 0, so these problems can be eliminated. Understood, thank you. By the way, I'd like to talk a bit about the waste during production startup and switching. Startup takes about 30 to 40 minutes, but there are cases where additives don't need to be used the whole time during startup. You only need to add the additives about 10 minutes before the product stabilizes. So, if the startup takes 40 minutes, you only need to add the additives in the last 10 minutes, saving the cost of expensive additives for the first 30 minutes.
That's quite significant in terms of cost.
Right? This could save tens of thousands, maybe even 100,000 yen annually. With MazeCon, each raw material can be added independently, so additives can be added at any desired timing. This also applies during material switching. I'm sharing this to encourage consideration of raw material savings or CO2 reduction. I've explained the advantages of MazeCon. Do you understand them?
Yes, I do.
Lastly, I'd like to talk about how MazeCon measures the extrusion amount.
In conventional mixing methods, the extrusion amount isn't measured at all.
That's right. Without a measuring device on the extruder, it's impossible to know.
We used to adjust based on the screw rotation speed, but with MazeCon's measuring system, the extrusion amount is clearly shown as a numerical value.
I see. Conventional mixers only mix, without any function to measure the extrusion amount, but MazeCon is equipped with this function.
Knowing the extrusion amount allows for adjustments to the drawing speed and other parameters, enabling smooth control of thickness and width.
This is especially useful for inflation molding, right?
Yes, exactly. Knowing the extrusion amount allows for quick adjustments, reducing effort and startup time.
That's beneficial in many ways, isn't it?
Yes. Faster startup means longer production time, increasing production volume.
And quicker startup also means less film waste, right? There are benefits here as well.
It's a story of discovering a way to save wasted raw materials and increasing productivity and production volume. Both are profitable stories.